Hola, peoples.
Hola, hola.
Welcome to the reading by candlelight discussion for House of Flame and Shadow. We are missing a co-host, but she'll pop in when she is able to. She is currently out and about and is trying to get her phone to cooperate. So, but yeah, I actually have my book with me this time.
Is this one you bought yourself?
Yes, I had. This is actually one I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered this and House of Sky and Breath. Those are the only two books I've ever pre-ordered. So, yeah. But would you like to do our dramatic reading?
I was gonna say, like, are you gonna ask for the dramatic reading?
Yes, it's always gonna be you to do the dramatic reading.
So, I mean, obviously, I would say first of all that because this is a third book, my dramatic reading might spoil.
Yeah.
So read the first book first. Don't watch this live.
Mm-hmm. Unless you don't care and don't plan on reading it. This whole live show is going to be pretty much.
Unless you're just here for the dramatic reading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A world in darkness. A burning spark. A blaze of stars. Bryce Quinlan is stranded in a strange new world. She's going to need all her wits about her to get home again and return to everything she loves. But that's no easy feat when she has no idea who to trust. Meanwhile, Hunt Athalar is back in the Asteri's dungeons, stripped of his freedom and the happiness that he fought so hard for. He is without a clue as to Bryce's fate. Hunt is desperate to help his mate, but until he can escape the Asteri's chains, his hands are quite literally tied. In this breathtaking sequel to the bestsellers House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath, Midgard is brought to the brink of collapse, and the fate of the world rests on the hope of rebellion. But the fight for survival, freedom, and love may cost everything Bryce and Hunt have. Thank you. It's just now.
So, what format did we read this in? I read it physically because I wanted to annotate the snot out of this. So, yeah.
For me, I mostly listen to the audiobook.
I couldn't get a hold of a copy of the audiobook through Libby, so I just had to read it physically.
Yeah, I think the only way that I could get mine was through Audible, and luckily I had credit at the time. But I had all the others from Audible as well, so it just made sense as well. But yeah, like it had the same narrators as well, so yeah.
I'm gonna tell Alicia if she can join in chat. She can do that.
Yeah, if she's able to. I need to remember what I rated it.
I gave it 5 stars.
Let me have a look. Where are we? Flame of Shadow. Oh, is that what I rated it? Wait, let me. Oh, ow! The book's attacking me. It's probably because it saw the rating and was like,
it's like, how dare you rate me?
Yeah, how dare you rate it that? Oh no, I did 3.5 stars. Okay, I don't know. I thought I rated it 4, but like, yeah. So yeah, and I've got my kind of reasons here.
Yeah, I gave it 5 stars. I was kind of flipping between 4.5 and 5 stars, but as I was updating my spoiler reading vlog for it and like talking through my like the last like few parts of it, I kind of settled on a 5 because if I cried because of this book, not like sobbing, but like got teary and shed tears, and if a book can do that for me, then it deserves that like higher rating. So I give it 5.
It gave you feels.
Hmm. And goosebumps and all of that stuff. So even though it took me a while to get through because of me putting it down from time to time, I really enjoyed the journey of it and learning all the lore behind all of it and kind of seeing if I can piece together like Easter eggs from the other series. So I liked it.
I wonder if, like, because you read it physically, I wonder if like that impacted your feels more, like rather than if you listened to it. Like, because when you like read a book physically, you kind of like can vision it like
Hmm.
better. I don't know, like
You sink into it a little bit
yeah,
more.
like you focus more on the words and that rather than like audiobooks. Sometimes like your train of thought goes off for like 10 seconds and so yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Who was your favorite character? I didn't really have a favorite character.
Yeah, I would say
I got
I can't
attached to all of them. So
pinpoint anyone that jumps out for me.
yeah, I got really invested in everybody's storyline, so I can't really like pinpoint just one.
I mean, maybe Bryce's brother. I don't know. I kind of liked him. I don't know.
Actually, now that I really think about it, honestly, like Lydia's is just her like growth in like
Hmm.
complete like 180. So I think I would have to go with maybe Lydia.
Yeah, like her with her kids as well, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
she was an interesting character.
Mhm. Yeah, and like kind of threw me through a loop because I wasn't expecting that. Especially like throughout the second book, of course, we like get more of her revealing like at the end of who she is, but you really it kind of solidifies that in this book. Least favorite characters obviously was the Fae Kings for me in the Asteri.
Yeah. Um.
I didn't really care for Celestina either, even though she only showed up at like the last like quarter of the book. Maybe not even that.
And what's that character as well? Is it the? Oh, it's not like the astronomer or something. I can't remember now.
I can't remember.
Like my brain says the astronomer, but I'm just like, what?
Well, yeah, they he was the one who had the Finnear air, but he gets his comeuppance at the end.
Hmm.
And of course, Sabine, I'm happy to see her gone.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good she died.
Now, the plot of this book, I felt like it was going by super quick and it was more just information dumping than actual, like, maybe plot. I think a quarter of it was more plot and the rest of it was just lore building.
Yeah, I think like that's what kind of like dragged me down with this one because I found like the first half like it dragged in plot sort of thing. Like, there wasn't so much going on and It was kind of like really slow, like slow paced, and then I enjoyed the second half more than I did the first half because there's more action and stuff going on. But I
Yeah.
think the first half is just more, I don't know, it just for me just felt a bit slow. But like and I think that's just what the reason why I was just like, okay, I'm done now. let's move on.
I did like how it's like if you didn't come straight from the second book into this one, how like the first chapter was kind of like a good like recap of what's
Yeah,
going
like
on.
it goes straight into the story, like straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, whoa, we're here.
Yeah, I did enjoy that, and but I didn't like the how cranky Rhysand was. It's kind of like, dude, you're the first one to give people a chance. What the heck is going on?
I put here that I really enjoyed the ending, like how it wrapped up the book as well.
Yeah, I did like that as well,
I
and
probably would say that's my favorite part. Just I don't know, I
yeah.
just think I was just like, oh, it's quite cute.
Yes.
It's normally that way. It's like I
Yeah.
can't think of a favorite character. And then when it's like least favorite, it's like, well, this one.
This bitch, I
Like
hate
we
this
always
one.
have more to say on like the least favorite characters.
Well, and what's funny too, my least favorite character in this will probably have to be Sabine, and I think it's funny because this bitch and she's a werewolf, so fitting, fitting for that.
This bitch. But
I
like,
did
how
enjoy
far?
the
Oh, sorry.
I did enjoy the whole thing that when Bryce was in the other world and she learned all the information about like Thea or however you say her name.
Well,
I
I
did
was going to
enjoy.
ask you with the Court of Thorns and Roses series, what book did you get to?
I read all of them.
I read all of them.
Only,
See,
I
for
haven't.
me, I feel like I've only read the first two. I'm kind of annoyed because I kind of wish I read them all before reading this because I was a bit like, hang on a minute, this character, what happened to this character from like the second book? Do you know what I mean? I was,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I just haven't finished Throne of Glass. I think I got up to like book 3 of Throne of Glass. I
I
can't
think
quite
that's where I
remember.
am. I'm on Error Far, I think, for Throne of Glass as well.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember where exactly I stopped. I would have to look at Goodreads to see, but yeah, I haven't finished that series yet. And now I do want to pick up like that series now because I have like the like big bind up of all the books on like my Kindle. It's like in one file, so it's like having to bring myself to read all of them at once like that is gonna be tough.
I think you have to mentally break it down, but like, I'll just take it one book at a time.
Yeah,
And then, like, yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, when you get to the end of one book, if it's like, oh, you know what, I need to know what happens next, and that kind of helps to spur it on. But if
yeah.
it ends where it's like, oh, not too bothered at the minute, I'll take a little break. But yeah, no, I just that's one thing that I wish that I would have read both series because there probably is some kind of spoilery stuff for Throne of Glass as well, but I didn't notice it as much as the Court of Thorns and Roses series.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wish I read this series now because I'm just like, ah. So that's one thing that I
Especially,
would say. Like, if before reading this series, maybe read the other series, I suppose, first. The
yeah,
YA series.
especially after the way that she kind of like hands off the mask and swords and stuff like that. You can
Yeah, I
tell it's
think all
gonna
of
lead to
those are
more.
stuff that's like, very
And with the ending, I can see how when she does continue this series, it's probably not going to be with Bryce and Hunt because their storyline seems to be pretty wrapped up like
yeah.
pretty well. But I'm seeing Ethan and like Therian maybe, especially Therian, his
Yeah.
storyline continuing.
I feel like we needed a spin-off or something.
Yeah. Or pretty much what she did with A Court of Thorns and Roses, and did like what was like the first three and a companion novel, and then Court of Silver Flames came out like as its own kind of series.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was kind of like thinking that with this book, I was like, okay, we've had quite a lot of Hunt and Bryce in a minute, and they're very, very like frontal on this book as well. Like there are so many side characters that are in this series that I would just love more perspectives on. So like whether she's planning on doing like I don't know, a novella book that's like the Assassin's Blade or their own book, I don't know. But yeah, it would be good. So if you're listening, Sarah J. Maas, we want more of the other characters. But I always find the side characters are like the most fascinating anyway. I've just always liked side characters.
Yeah. Speaking of side characters, what did you think of the sprites? And with the
I can't even really remember them.
with them and the sprite queen when they came to help Lydia when all of her powers got unlocked, and she's pretty much like a shifter fire sprite kind of.
All right, yeah, I think I kind of remember, yeah.
Yeah, and she like let the queen go at the beginning after she like helped rescue the guys, and at the end she like teamed up with them, and at the end she when Bryce took over the gallery or was opening the gallery, had all three sprites being the protectors of the books, like Lahaba. I'm like, oh, it's so sweet.
Oh my god, so many, like when there were like so many references to Lahaba, I was just like, no, don't rip my heart again.
It's like, sweet baby angel.
Like every now and then they would do it in the book. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
No. They were like literally like my favorite character in the first book, I would say.
Oh, and the whole like going down the like route of Hunt being like a product of hell kind of thing.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay. It threw me through a loop a bit.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to go through and look at my highlights that I've made.
Your notes. What are you doing? Come here.
I feel like the connections between this book and Throne of Glass seems to be more like name-wise than anything. She looks so chunky.
She is a chunk. But like she's short, like she's shorter than Nutmeg, but she's chunkier. So like, you're just short, aren't you? She's like, what are you doing to me?
Mother, I must do this.
Do you have any thoughts? Or are you just going to stare at everyone? She's like, stare into the soul. Stare.
It's like, if I must.
She's just staring. That is you.
I'm not looking. No.
She's like, I'm not looking.
Oh, the parasite in the water thing too.
Ugh, yeah. Yep.
That I don't know. I heard that and I'm like, well, that makes sense. I was hoping that like the resolution of that was somehow they like Hypaxia somehow managed to like get the antidote into the water, like water supply, and like
antidote,
whatever, and get it into the water supply and make everybody like cure everybody of it, but instead of just in the sample vials kind of thing.
she grows. Yeah, like she's shorter in length, so therefore she grows out.
Like how Mocha is. Mocha's round.
But she's quite active. Like she does run around and that. She just, I don't know. She's quite placid most times, I suppose. But
Oh, the Pegasus, the like end of the book where they're like running off to go see the like Pegasus, like a Jelly Jubilee come to life kind of thing. It's like I want a short story of that just once they get there and seeing like Bryce squealing over the Pegasus.
Pegasus. See, this is when it's good to physically read a book and annotate it because you can like literally just remember all those bits. Like listen to the audiobook. I'm listening on my commutes and I can't note anything down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I'm just like, you know, when you're mentioning stuff and I'm just like, when was that? Like and then again, I read like part 1 a couple of months ago as well. So it's very fresh for you.
I had a lot of blue tabs in this book. I did not appreciate that.
Food tabs. Is that every time they eat food or
no blue tabs?
Oh, blue. I thought you said food tabs are like, is it like every time they eat?
No, blue tabs.
That's what I was like. Oh, yeah. So they're eating again. Great. They're eating again. I was like, they ate that much? So what's blue?
Blue is the sad bits.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Lots of blue tabs.
Yeah, I think like I mean this probably will answer the would I reread question, but like I think once I read the Throne of Glass series and the Court of Thorns and Roses, I'll physically read this one again, and then I'll just see if there's but I think I'll physically read it to like annotate and stuff so that I can see if there's anything I didn't see the first time, because this one is very kind of like linked to those other series, especially Court of Thorns and Roses, I find.
I wonder if someone has made like a way to like chronologically read the series, like which ones aren't like in the timeline comes first. Because I wouldn't mind doing something like that and like have specific tabs for like Easter eggs kind of thing.
Yeah, like I know that Alice Oseman's done that with her books. Like she's sort of got it on her website where she shows which book comes into where and like and all of that, and that's sort of like quite helpful if you want to read it in like date order. But yeah, I'd love a story about Lydia, I would say. Like even if it's something that was in the past or something, like I would just like to know her backstory quite a bit. She's quite interesting.
Somebody lost his phone.
I just set it down. I don't remember where I put it.
I'm gonna call it.
On the floor.
On the floor in the bedroom. On the floor in the bedroom.
Never worked on that.
Yeah, you still getting on with her writing style?
Oh yeah, I like how kind of easy to read her writing style is because it just makes the story fly by. It doesn't like drag or anything.
Yeah, I'm surprised that like I mean, considering this is like her adult series, I'm surprised how easy it is to read because I know that some adult fantasies they're quite tricky, but this one reads quite well. It's not like too complicated.
Yeah.
But I still would wish that she would have a like character glossary thing going on where she kind of reminds you who's who.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she doesn't. I know Jennifer L. Armentrout does that with her books like later in the Rome, Blood, and Ash series. Favorite part of the book? Mm,
I would probably just say the ending. I just like, for me, that like really
so
impacted me the most.
the action at the
It
end.
had
Definitely.
many feels.
Yeah, definitely the. I think probably for me, just the action at the end of it because it kept me glued and not wanting to like stop reading it.
I'm trying to think, like,
My least favorite part would have to be just at the beginning when they're trying to get Therian out from underneath the Viper Queen. I just don't like the Viper Queen, period.
oh yeah, like whenever like she reads her like her speeches on the audiobook, like all of the S's, like Bryce.
Yeah, that would irritate the snot out of me.
It's just like, oh, you make my skin crawl. I just don't like Baxian. Like, there was that, I don't know if you remember that scene where, like, I don't know, like they kept on like describing his cock, you know.
No.
You don't remember that? Because he was like horny for like Lydia. Do you remember? It was like,
Pollux, you mean?
oh yeah, Pollux.
Pollux,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. I know it's one of them.
Baxian is Danica's mate. So that's why I'm like, I don't remember.
Oh yeah,
anything
like yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I was like, it's one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that gets fried at the end.
Yeah.
Yes. The douchebag had it coming to him. Here's the Harry. That's the Harry. Say hi, Katie.
Hi, Harry. Harry. Harry.
He was balanced on my knee earlier just watching streams with me. Let's see. Least favorite part? Yeah, I think, didn't we already go over that? I can't remember.
Yeah, I would just say like Pollux. Anything, any scene that he was in.
Yeah.
Just gross.
Would you reread? Yeah,
yeah, pretty much like answered that.
Yeah. Would you buy this book for someone else?
I would if they had read the other series. I'd just say read those, and then it'd be the next in line.
I also feel like even though this is kind of a hyped series, it's for a certain audience that likes the like different magical creature fantasy types of books.
Yeah.
So Auntie Jess says hi, Harry. He's like, you just get the butt, apparently.
The butt and the tail.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, outside is more interesting.
Apparently.
Yeah, and that makes still sunbathing. With her eyes shut.
You gonna settle now? Maybe. Cool, sit. Are you gonna stay and sit?
What did you think of the book, Harry? Oh. Oh. I just want the butt scratch.
And we did go over that we would like to read the other books from this world and by this author. What other books would you recommend that are similar? Probably From Blood and Ash because of the creatures and
the amount of different creatures. I would say that's the closest series.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of any other series that's like it. Unless you want to go for like the Crave series by Tracy Wolf, but
and that would be more of like if you want a YA kind of version.
Yeah.
You pull up Goodreads and see what they say, like readers also like, kind of thing.
I will see if I type in it on Amazon. Sometimes they say as well, don't they? Like, people also balked. Let's have a look.
Readers also enjoyed Bride by Ali Hazelwood, Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yaros, A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, Serpent in the Wings of Night, A Fire in the Flesh. I like how Harry's just like balanced on the same knee again.
It says here, like if I go on Amazon and I select the book, and it says like customers, viewed this, also viewed. So it says here, A Fate Inked in Blood by Daniel L. Jensen, apparently.
It's his podcast.
Powerless by Lauren Roberts.
Look up. Get off the desk.
The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. Book Talks New Dog Romanticism. Feybound by Sarah L. Arifi. If you like, I suppose with the Fae.
Let's see.
But apparently, yeah. I'm curious of people's reviews on Amazon.
So I can't really think of too many other than From Blood and Ash, because I haven't read a whole lot of fantasy books that have all magical creatures in it. Usually it's just one or two that pop up. So it's hard to really pick. Any other comments that we want to make? I'm sure that Alicia will comment her thoughts or let us know whenever in the chat when she's able to.
On Amazon, there's just loads of positive reviews for this book.
I've heard just mixed things.
Until this one, which has it just says this series is a joke. I would like to suggest a drinking game for this book. Please take a drink anytime. Mass uses the following: apex predator, pure male something, toes curling, and feline grace.
I mean, yeah. They're not wrong.
You'll be blackout drunk at 20% in the book.
I mean, that would be a really one long drinking game if you did make this book into a drinking game. You might as well just get yourself set up in a hospital before you start that.
Oh, that also reminded me. What did you think about Jasper trading her life for Bryce?
I thought that was so sweet. I wasn't expecting that in the whole, her backstory. It made sense about why she was so, mysterious as well. I really loved that part.
Oh, the bit where she was able to see Danica in the harbor one last time.
Yeah, that was when all the floodgates opened for me. I started kind of blabbering.
Yeah, I think when I was in the car driving, I was just like, "Oh, don't! I'm trying to drive." Yeah,
so there was one clip I did right after. I think that chapter before the last two chapters, when it was all the happy ending stuff, I turned it over and turned the camera on, and you can kind of see some tears on my face. And I'm so glad I took my eyeliner off before this, because my eyes would have been burning.
I have to agree with this person in this review though, like because I was hoping there would be more Feyre, but like I'm hoping that if she is going to do another book, that maybe Feyre will kind of like come in more, because like they literally was just like, oh, I'm upset that like our girl Feyre didn't get a single page in this book. What is your problem with my girl Sarah J. Maas? She's the highlight of the Night Court.
I think it is more due to the fact that, like, seems like when she starts wrapping up a certain couple's storylines, that's when she goes to the next couple. So that's probably why. And I didn't really feel like Nesta's and Cassian's when I read Court of Silver Flames was necessarily really wrapped up. I thought that it was more or less put a pin in it until like really this one.
Mm.
It made sense of why Silver Flames came up when it did.
I'm just trying to look at people's spoiler reviews on Amazon to see if we've forgotten anything that's happened.
I just like
I agree with this. Like someone's put like the books tend to have everything from 1 minute making you laugh out loud to the next minute welling up as like sacrifices.
Yeah. I like Candlelight Ansley's like a review. She gave it 1 star. Dudes with massive cervix destroying hogs. Dead ladies who dump info. Sorry, prophecy. The entire plan on how to save the world. Every character joining together to overthrow the government and then becoming the government. Heroines who are strong, I guess, but also deeply irritating and unchanging. Sex scenes in the middle of war because, of course, your friends want to hear the cot squeak. And a deeply unsatisfying final battle scene. And yet, somehow, I keep giving her my money. I mean, she's not wrong. It's like I hear and I understand like the criticisms of it, but I still enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the journey of reading it. So
Someone put here, I love that Nesta connected with Bryce's mum. I'm sure there must be more to this, but for now I'm just here for Nesta's mummy issues being scratched.
I thought that was sweet too.
See, someone's put like, I enjoyed the little nods to Throne of Glass. I'm intrigued to see where this goes next. So now I'm just like, okay, well, I kind of need to read Throne of Glass now to see what those nods were.
Yeah, same. It's like I could understand a few of them because Beautifully Bookish Bethany, she has done a like spoiler review recap of her reread of Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight because she's doing a whole reread of like the Mass Universe, and I watched her like vlogs of it just to kind of as I was reading this one, so I'm picking up some sort of hints here and there of it, just of the first like 2 books anyways that I remembered. So
quite a few of these reviews mention a lot of info dumping, and I kind of agree with that because like the first half pretty much was it, wasn't it? Like information.
yeah. But I don't mind that too much because when it comes to fantasy books for me, I don't mind, or in some cases kind of enjoy info dumping.
Someone put Bryce being able to so easily open a portal, going to borrow the mask, and Nesta just giving it to her. Nah, way too convenient. And then they put, why do they have to go through all of this to find out about the origin of the Asteri when Hal knew all along? Silly.
Because there needed to be some sort of plot line.
Yes, things can't be simple. But yeah, quite a lot of people are saying that if this is the conclusion to the Crescent City series, then I am satisfied. And quite a few people have said that I feel like there are more stories to tell, though, not necessarily with Bryce. So
Yeah.
that everyone's getting that same feel as what we are getting.
Alrighty.
Someone put, I'm still processing this book, and I probably am going to be for a while. It is a lot, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
so much
And
in like 850 pages or whatever it is. Like, it did take me like a good, like, what do I rate this? Because like, yeah, it was just like, yeah, you have to think about it a lot.
okay, Alicia, what were your questions and what were your
Oh yeah,
answers
this
to
is the
them?
main thing.
Yes.
Like, we need to we need to know if all of the questions were answered. Oh no, out of the 18, 13 got. Oh no. So which 5 didn't get answered?
We're waiting on bated breath. I remember you sending a picture.
Yes,
And
I remember the picture of questions, and there was quite a lot.
this one it technically did get a bit like answered a bit. Just not fully like fleshed out. Because I believe at the end of it it was confirmed that Danica was looking into all that research about like possible like powers being unlocked, but I don't think she just like quite got there right away. Trying to go back to pictures.
Yes, I do feel like that as well. Like we still just didn't quite get enough about Danica and her whatever she was doing.
Yeah. Okay, so I brought the picture up. What happened to Hunt and Baxian after Bryce went through the portal?
Okay.
I was addressed like right away.
Yeah.
Where is Jessica? Will she play a bigger role in the next book?
Well, yes, definitely, especially at the ending.
Yeah. I want to know how Bryce was able to piece together everything about Emil and Renset. How was she able to find him and get him to safety without others knowing? That one definitely like wasn't addressed really, because anything like Bryce comes up with, like planning on her own, it stays in her head apparently. We just never get confirmation of exactly how she does things. So that I know wasn't answered. Why did Danica keep secrets from Bryce? I don't think that was really ever answered. I'm trying to protect her, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we do need a novella about Danica. Like,
Yeah.
maybe about all the stuff in, I don't know.
What was Danica really doing while researching the lineage of her for her paper? Was it really for her paper? Maybe she was working for someone. Why was she sharing everything with Baxian? I don't know if she really shared everything with him, but I think when she like found out that he was like her mate and he was kind of like a little bit deeper into the world than she was, she could probably have used him to like go in and do more research for her. I think she was just going to use that research to take down the Asteri at one point or another. At least that's what I would think what it would be.
Yes, sir.
Share food, please.
Harry's interested.
Why didn't Danica say anything to Bryce about mating to Baxian or any of her work? It's probably the fact that Baxian was part of the Sandriel's Terrari, or however you pronounce that word. I'm not sure how that's
She was
Yeah, like she probably didn't want to be ashamed. I don't know.
Yeah, because of just all the crap that he had done in his life because of that. And the work. Who knows, honestly. Does Celestina know more than she is leading on? Is she trying to help? I kind of felt like her story kind of fell flat for me a bit. Triari. Will the Autumn King ever actually care about his children as a father?
Nope.
Nope.
I think we have just learned with another book. No.
Yeah. Will Bryce ever make it back to hunt in her world?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hard no.
Yeah. Will they defeat the Astari? Yes.
Yes.
Will Arun and Bryce take over the rule of the Fae from their father? Yes and no.
Yeah.
It did officially end with them.
Yeah.
Will Ethan help the Alpha Wolf who is in the Astronomer's possession? Not really, no. If killing her helps her, then yes, but no. And we never really figure out what actually happens to her after that, other than her becoming a Reaper and running off into the night kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
That's probably because their father is an arsehole. So you don't care for arseholes.
It's like if you're abusing your children, then obviously you don't care about them.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think you lose the ability
what will become of Sabine?
Dies. Death.
What will the Prime do about his pack in their current situation? Pass it over to Ethan before he dies?
Ethan becomes the leader. Alpha.
I saw that coming halfway through the book.
Yeah. I think we kind of knew that was gonna.
Or even probably even well before halfway through the book, just the way things were going. I think it kind of became a suspicion of mine as soon as he accidentally kills her. And thinking, well, he could be an alpha then.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it seems like Faye kind of are a bit stuck up. At least in this world, anyways. What will become of Therian now that he is with the Viper Queen? Well, we kind of got our answers at. He at least got away from her. What is the Viper Queen up to? Is she's acquiring people, especially Therian? Will we see more of her in the next book?
Yes, she pops up all the time. She's just always there.
But she's just there to gain information for her own
good.
She's
just always there to taunt people.
Yeah.
Being a Viper.
Will Rune still connect with Agent Daybright if they all survive? Yeah, connecting is a way you could call it. It's a form of connecting, I guess. Will everything be tied up by the end of House Flame and Shadow? Will I have all my answers? No. Yeah, I also want a novella. She needs to do a short story bind up like Assassin's Blade.
Yeah.
For this series. We did get most of them, just not all of them.
So we need one about Danica and we need one about Lydia.
Yep. And then Bryce and her private investigator skills. And I want a short story about Bryce's parents with Nesta and Cassian. Like their time there. I want a short story of that.
Yeah, because we don't know what happened there.
You definitely can. I do agree. Yep. Did you read it physically or did you listen to the audiobook, Alicia?
And also, who's your favorite and least favorite character?
Yeah.
Or is it also this bitch?
Physical and audio.
Same for me. But I was mostly audiobook, but
Yeah. So who'd you love and who'd you hate?
Yeah, we want to know.
I feel like the next time you do your dramatic reading, we need to have like some music playing in the background.
Just make sure it's royalty free or you'll get blocked.
True. Some dramatic.
I know what you mean, like some sort of like, I don't know, do we need like sad violins? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, that was, well, we didn't actually officially choose the favorite character, but we both agreed that we hated them.
Yeah, I think we kind of said that Lydia, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Lydia was probably, but I think I said Broom.
As my sister Lovely summed it up for us in this one.
Can't pick one. At least I with this bitch.
I think, wasn't she just like a consistent least favorite character in all three books for us, for all three of us? I think we've just constantly said we hate Sabine in all three books.
Yeah. Well, she's a unlikable character, isn't she?
Yeah.
What about your...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely a good spy. I
want to see more
favorite
of her.
and least favorite part, maybe.
Yeah, favorite, least favorite. I love Lydia's.
We know what you think of the plot and the writing.
I want to see more of Lydia and Hypaxia becoming like actual sisters instead of just a name, kind of in blood. I want a story of them getting to know each other. Because I thought it was sweet whenever Lydia was super proud of Hypaxia of getting the antidote.
It'd be nice to have a story about the Viper Queen, actually.
Yeah.
It's like a good villain story.
Agreed. I think she was just there to be antagonistic.
To be a Viper Queen.
Bless you.
Damn allergies.
Yeah. Is it rumbling?
Yeah, what's your least favorite and favorite part, Alicia? Did you have one? I think I would just say the ending and also the bit where she sees La Habra and Danica. Those got me in the feels.
Had me blubbering. Harry's telling us all about it behind me. He just can't do it on screen, apparently. Favorite part was the ending and how you can see everything coming together. Least favorite part was
Or maybe there wasn't a least favorite part.
yeah, the torture scenes. I definitely agree that they were not great, but I don't think torture is supposed to be great. So
I feel like the next questions, like for Alicia, quite self-explanatory. Of like, would you read other books by the author and the world? And
yeah, we need to get you and Alicia fresh up to date with ACOTAR, and then we all need to read Throne of Glass.
Yeah, so we all need to read and complete Throne of Glass series and be up to date with Court of Fuzz Erasers, and then we got to do a reread.
Yeah,
and then we see if there's any more questions for Alicia that she may have forgotten about.
Maybe we should do our own like mass read along, like just one like probably will take almost like a year just to get through. Probably if we do like one a month or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, every part of this book played a part, and it was interesting the way that it was written. Did you find yourself able to fly through it? We'll read more. Yeah. I think the only one of her books I don't see myself reading is, didn't she write like a Catwoman story or something like that? I don't really see
she did. Yeah, quite a few authors wrote they're like superhero characters.
Yeah, I don't really see myself
read that. I do have that somewhere, and I've always liked Catwoman. So, but I never hear anybody talk about that book though, so I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you read it in 4 days? Jeez.
Damn.
I have it on my Kindle, so it's possible, but after the way that Tarot TBR was for me this month, I doubt it's going to be this month that I'll get to it. I would recommend it as well, yeah. The first Crescent City was my intro into her work, and it got me into the rabbit hole of reading everything else until I kind of got burned out.
Well, I think we've said what we need to say.
Yep.
Shall we talk about the next book?
Yep. Next book, I actually have it pulled up on Goodreads here. Monsters Born in May. Not gonna let me get the book cover all big on my side, but yeah. Ta-da!
Do you want me to do a dramatic reading of this synopsis?
I mean, you could.
Let's see if it persuades people to read it. If watching later, of course. You swim with monsters. These people cannot scare you. 16-year-old Coral and her brother Emric risk their lives to capture the monstrous maristags that live in the Black Seas around their island. They have to, or else their family will starve. Ugh. In an oceanic world swarming with vicious beasts, the ruling elite have indentured her family to provide the maristags for the glory race, a deadly chariot tournament reserved for the upper class. The winner receives gold and glory. The losers, if they're lucky, survive. When Coral fails to capture a maristag for this year's race, her family cannot afford medicine for her chronically ill little sister. Coral's only choice is to do what no one has ever dared, cheat her way into the glory race. Naughty, naughty. But Coral must race against contenders who have trained their whole lives and have no intention of letting a low-caste girl steal their glory. And when riots break out, Coral has to do more than win the race. She'll have to stop the whole island from burning. It's an epic South Asian inspired fantasy debut that will leave you breathless until the very last page.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. What is a maristag?
I have no idea.
Literally, it mentioned it 3 times. And I'm just like, what is that? I feel like I must Google it. Maristag meaning, unless it's a made-up word. A passive animal that will only attack the player under rare circumstances.
The more you know.
Someone said, I imagine the maristags to be a sort of cross between a dinosaur and a seahorse. So they are a creature. Maybe they are what pulls the chariots. Capture the monstrous maristags, or their family will starve. Her family to provide.
Well, it is an ocean.
Yeah, to provide them for the glory race. So they must.
Yeah.
Maybe unless that's what it is on the front here. I don't know.
Well, I still have Goodreads pulled up. It does say in an oceanic world swarming with vicious beasts.
Yeah.
So that makes sense if it's like a seahorse cross.
Yeah, so it says here, when they fail to capture a maristag for the race. So that, I'm assuming maybe they carry the chariot.
Yeah. It says, perfect for fans of the Hunger Games and these violent delights. This South Asian-inspired fantasy is a gripping debut of the power of the elite, the price of glory, and one girl's chance to change it all.
I get the Hunger Games kind of vibe thing with the chariots.
Yeah.
But it does sound interesting.
But the discussion will be on Alicia's channel.
Yes.
Not too sure when exactly.
June. Probably 8th, I don't know. Ouch.
Tentatively June 8th.
Because I'm just the 1st of June is quite close. So
yeah.
So yeah, probably June 8th, same time.
Yes. I need to see if Libby has a copy. Alrighty, that is the end of our discussion. Thank you, everyone who is either lurking in the stream or will watch after. We appreciate you. Join us next month on Alicia's channel when we discuss the next book. Until then, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.